When you think about the major gods in Hinduism, a couple of names probably come to mind. You've got Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and then you have Shiva, who carries the official title of the destroyer. Kind of sounds like the bad guy in the story, right? Well, that title is just the tip of the iceberg of a much, much bigger story. So let's get right to it. Is Shiva's whole deal just a negative thing? Is he a villain? The short answer? Absolutely not. The long answer, though, well, that reveals one of the most fascinating deities you'll ever encounter, one who literally embodies the entire cycle of the universe. You see, in Hinduism, these three supreme gods form what's known as the triumvirate, or the trimurti. You have Brahma creating everything, Vishnu preserving it all, and then Shiva, whose job is to bring the universe to an end. But, and this is the crucial part, as we're about to see, every single end is just a brand new beginning.
Okay, so to really get who Shiva is, we have to look way beyond that one-word job title. And the best place to start is at the very beginning. Not with his birth, but with how he first bursts onto the cosmic scene.
Yeah, Shiva's origin story isn't about being born in any way we'd understand. It all kicks off with a classic conflict. Brahma and Vishnu are in the middle of a heated argument about which one of them is the most powerful god. Their little debate is about to get settled, but not in a way either of them could have possibly imagined.
So right in the middle of their godly squabble, this infinite blazing pillar of light just appears out of nowhere. Brahma, thinking he's clever, turns into a goose and flies up, trying to find the top. At the same time, Vishnu turns into a boar and starts digging down to find the bottom. But here's the thing. Both of them fail. The pillar is literally endless. Just as they give up, completely humbled, Shiva himself emerges from inside the pillar, and in that moment they both realize his power is beyond anything they could measure.
So he's obviously established his power, but what about his job description? This is where we get into this really beautiful duality of Shiva's role, where destruction and creation aren't enemies at all. In fact, they're partners in a cosmic dance. You have to understand, Shiva's destruction has nothing to do with malice or evil. Hindu cosmology views the universe in these massive, repeating cycles. At the end of each one, Shiva's job is to destroy everything. But he does it to wipe the slate completely clean, allowing for a pure, fresh start. So think of him less as a demolition crew and more like a cosmic reset button. So the act of ending the universe is completely tied to the act of letting a new one begin. You can't have one without the other. It's this necessary reset that makes sure the cosmos doesn't get old and stagnant. In that sense, destruction is actually the ultimate act of renewal. And this brings us to this amazing contrast. He's the destroyer, sure, but he's also known as Nataraja, the Lord of the Dance. And this isn't just about busting a move. His dance symbolizes the very rhythm that keeps the entire universe in balance. It's a way to stamp out ignorance from the world. His cosmic dance, which is called the Tandav, is what he performs at the very end of a universal cycle. It is the act that brings about destruction for the sake of recreation. The dance and the destruction are one and the same. It's the single, powerful, rhythmic act of hitting that cosmic reset button. Now, if you've ever seen an image of Shiva, you know his look is iconic. But every single part of that image is packed with meaning. Understanding his symbols is really the key to understanding him. So let's break down some of the most important symbols you'll always see with Shiva. Each one tells a part of his story, from his incredible power to his place in the cosmic cycle. First up, that famous third eye. Now, this isn't just for seeing better. It represents a deep, profound wisdom and insight into the universe. But it also holds this raw, untamed energy. And when he opens it, it can release a fire so powerful it can incinerate anything in its path. It's a tool he uses not for random destruction, but specifically to eliminate evil. And what about the cobra wrapped around his neck? That shows his complete mastery over fear and even death itself. And think about it. A snake sheds its skin to be renewed. It's a perfect living symbol of Shiva's whole philosophy, destruction for the sake of recreation. Finally, let's talk about his weapon, the trident, or trishula. This is so much more than just a weapon of destruction. Its three prongs represent the three fundamental forces of the entire triumvirate: Brahma's creation, Vishnu's preservation, and of course, his own destruction. So in his hands, he's literally holding the balance of the entire universe.
So, beyond the cosmic duties and all this deep symbolism, Shiva is also a main character in some of Hinduism's most dramatic myths. In these stories, they reveal a being of intense passion, everything from the most profound love to the most terrifying rage.
The story of his first wife, Sati, is a perfect example. Her father, Daksha, despises Shiva and insults him by not inviting him to a massive ceremony. Sati is so outraged by this disrespect that she takes her own life. Well, Shiva's grief is so immense that it turns into a terrifying, world-shaking fury. He unleashes demons who completely destroy the ceremony and behead Daksha. Now, he does later show mercy and brings Daksha back to life with a goat's head, but still, this story shows a god who is capable of incredibly deep love and absolutely devastating sorrow.
And then you have the famous and kind of shocking story of his son Ganesha. It's really a story about a terrible mistake. Shiva returns home from a long meditation and is stopped at the door by a boy he doesn't recognize, a boy his wife Parvati had created to be her guard. In a fit of rage, Shiva has the boy beheaded. When a horrified Parvati explains this was their son, a deeply remorseful Shiva fixes his mistake by giving him the head of the first creature he can find, which just so happens to be an elephant. It shows a god who isn't perfect, but who takes responsibility for his actions.
And the list of his benevolent acts just goes on. There's the story where he drank a serpent's deadly poison just to save the world, which left his throat permanently blue, or the time he tamed the ridiculously powerful flow of the river Ganges by catching it in his hair, saving the entire earth from being flooded. These stories paint a picture of a god who isn't just a destroyer, but a protector and a savior too. So when you finally look at the full picture, you take in the stories, the symbols, the whole philosophy, you see a deity who is so far from being a simple villain. This quote really nails it. He is as much associated with goodness and protection as he is with destruction and time. So if there's one thing to take away, it's that Shiva is not just one thing. He's the great ascetic, lost in meditation for ages, but he's also a husband and a father. He is the destroyer, but his destruction is what allows for new creation. He is the ultimate embodiment of balance, showing us that life's biggest contradictions can actually exist in perfect harmony. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? If destruction is a necessary and even positive part of creation in the cosmos, maybe we can learn something from that. Maybe we can start to see the endings in our own lives not as failures, but as powerful opportunities for renewal and rebirth. What do you think?